Hello, welcome back to the Spoonie Stitcher channel. I'm Shannon the Spoonie Stitcher, you're inside the stitchery, and I'm so happy you're here today. This is Autumn Podcast episode 2. So, in my Autumn Podcast, we just talk about a certain subject, or nothing at all, and it's just fun. And it's a fun little vlog style type video that I try to do every week, every other week. And this is episode 2, so if you need to see episode 1, it's linked down below. I will be mentioning other designers in this video, and whatever designer I mention will be linked down below in some capacity. Okay, so before we get started today, please remember that hitting the notification bell so you get notified for every single video that I put out is kind of important to the algorithm, and it lets you know when I've made a new video. Yes, I have a schedule every month. Yes, it changes every month. I'm a Spoonie, that's life. But I also put out random videos that I didn't schedule, and you don't want to miss those. They're fun, they're interesting, and, well, I'm fun. Sort of. Kind of. Okay, I'm entertaining, if nothing else. You can laugh at me. I laugh at me. I thought you guys might like to see all the bears I've made. Not necessarily this week. I made a couple of them recently. I do have an entire series called Broadway Bears. To be fair, there's only 2 bears so far, but those videos take a long time to make. So that's why there's only been 2. My goal was to have 1 every month, and then I was like, be realistic. So I said 1 every season. That didn't happen either. So I will try my hardest to make at least 1 more before the year is out. You don't have to be into Broadway or musicals or anything to like those videos. I get into the history at the very end, but you don't have to watch that part if you don't want to. I talk about how I made the bear and why I chose to make it that way. As far as I know, making Broadway costumes as realistic as possible in crochet form isn't really something people do. But it's something I do. So I have an entire series about Broadway Bears. You might want to go check it out. They are interesting. You don't have to watch the end, although I have had a lot of people tell me that the history part was interesting, but go check it out. Also, I make Pill Pal pets. My bunnies will be linked down below, but I also make bears. And if you saw last week's episode, I made Frankenpooh. So this is Pooh Bear as a Pill Pal pet style that is based on the Japanese Tsum Tsum style, and he is really adorable, isn't he? He is Frankenpooh. If you want to know the story all about why he is Frankenpooh, it is in last week's video. I was curious though, because I got a lot of interest for people wanting a tutorial about him. But I know a lot of people like to make amigurumi in the Parfait Chunky from Premiere. I'll be honest, I had never used this before, but I did have a couple of skeins because I did buy them just to try. And I decided to mix this with the other fuzzy yarn from Premiere, that is the Just Chenille. They are the same weight, so it should work out, and it did. So I wanted to see if I could make the exact same pattern, but in the bulkier yarn. I was so happy it worked. Ta-da! He's so cute, right? So this is the Parfait Chunky, this is the Just Chenille, and the little bolts are made out of a scrap of silver Bernat blanket yarn. The eyes, I believe, are 9mm. So, it worked. So how much bigger is he? Decent. So, if I make a tutorial for this one, you can make this one. Just change your hook and your yarn. That's it. But speaking of Pooh and Winnie the Pooh stuff, I also made Micro Pooh. This is technically not my pattern. So, I mean, it kind of is. What I did was I took Club Crochet's micro or mini pig pattern, just his body, left off all the tail and nose and all that kind of stuff, added my own ears, did my own color changes, and turned it into Winnie the Pooh. this is him. Yay. So that's Minnie Pooh. This is something I made for Valentine's Day. This is Cassandra at Craftably Ever After. This is her pattern. I turned it into a girl. And because it was Valentine's Day, I gave her a heart nose and a little bow. And the eyelashes, obviously. But this is Cassandra's pattern. I think it's free. Yeah, it is. It's free. I will link her pattern and the channel, Cassandra's channel, down below. Because if you don't follow her, you should. She's amazing. So, yeah. So this is Squish Buddy's girlfriend. She doesn't have a name, but isn't she cute? So she's in the style of like a Squishmallow type thing, and I think she's cute. So I made her in February. Yeah, I did a crochet along that was like Sweet Treats Mystery Halloween or something like that, and I made the pattern for the crochet along / competition. So I actually have entered quite a few Instagram competitions. I can show some of my pictures someday if you want. I'm actually pretty proud of the photography and the setup that I designed. So anyway, during one of the crochet alongs, I had to make this. This is the Cotton Candy Bunny. Oop, there we go. And I made it out of the... Uh-oh. It's right in front of me, but none of them have labels anymore. I think this is the Forever Fleece Finer. I'm almost positive it is. So all of it. So the pink, the yellow, and the blue are all the Forever Fleece Finer. I did embroidery for the eyes and the nose. I'm pretty proud of it because I don't do well at embroidery, so I think I did pretty well. And yeah, isn't she cute? So there's a little tail. And yeah, but I thought she was lonely. I mean, nobody wants to trick or treat alone. So, speaking of bears, I made her a little bear to go with her. Isn't it cute? See, I even striped it like the cotton candy cone. So this is her cotton candy bear. Her little pet. So, this is a very short version of a Pill Pal pet. Very short. I mean, like, hardly any rows at all. I think I was just trying to use up the yarn. But anyway, so, yeah, my bear and bunny. The bunny pattern is on Ravelry. During the crochet along, it was free. It's not anymore. But if you want to make this one, I will try and find it and link it down below. She's not a Broadway bear. She is just... I wanted to make Ursula into a bear because I saw the really cool one that came out on Build-A-Bear's website, and I wanted to make my own. I wanted an Ursula bear, but her tentacles are not working out. I don't really know what to do, but they're not working out at all. So this is my Ursula bear, partially. If you saw any of my mermaid videos, she was in pretty much all of them. So, yep, she's made out of burlap blanket yarn, 7mm hook, and she is not the same pattern as my Broadway Bears at all. She's a whole lot bigger, and I'll show you one of my Broadway Bears in a minute. She's a whole lot bigger. Her mouth is crooked. I just noticed that. Okay. And she has a chest. And she has some details down here that you can't see because they're in black, but I need them to attach the tentacles. This little stitch marker, I better never lose, otherwise I am very doomed, because this is where I need to attach everything. And yeah, she's very different from any of the bears I've created. Her ears, however, are my Broadway Bear pattern. I really love these ears. They're amazing. So this is part of Bear Sula, but she needs I need to get the yarn and make her nose, because when they have noses, they look so much better. Right now, she looks like a pig, which is fine. We love pigs, but, you know, she needs help. So speaking of Broadway Bears, my very first one is perfect for this time of year because it's my Phantom Bear. I have such a soft spot in my heart for this make. You have no idea. First of all, he was my very first full, instead of, you know, these, he was my very first full animal pattern. My first animal is my Draconicus Discord from My Little Pony, but, you know, he's a weird creature. So my regular animals, this is it. This is my Phantom Bear. So this is for Phantom of the Opera. This is my very first Broadway Bear. I will link the video down below in case you're interested on how he came to be, what I used to make him, that kind of thing. And then a little bit about the history of Phantom of the Opera, because it did close. And so his cape is removable, his mask is not. It is sewn onto his face, and I wanted it that way. I still have ideas to make different outfits for him, because the Phantom wears about 3 outfits, and then Love Never Dies, the sequel, he wears even more. So, I mean, you know, he could have costume changes. I really want to do the costume he wears for, what musical number is it? The Point of No Return. Lots of dark crimsons and black accents and stuff. Really, really cool outfit if I could pull it off. But right now he is in his simple cape, and that's him. So some of you guys asked in my last video where I showed him if you could see what he looks like all together. This is him. He is not very big, actually. He is a little bit smaller than a Build-A-Bear, I think. He's either a little bit smaller or exactly the right size. I was trying to make Build-A-Bear style bears as characters from different Broadway shows that I like. That's what my Broadway Bears are all about. So anyway, people asked to see him. There he is. Yes, one arm is shorter than the other. Please give me a break. It was my first try. And his head is super complicated. I know you guys really want a pattern. I have been asked countless times for this bear tutorial, but unfortunately, I don't think you want to do his head. I've tried to make it differently, and I really like how his head looks, and it's not easy. The stitch count will drive you mad, but he does look really cute. I'm still working on trying to make his head better, so if I ever fix his head that I think would be easy for people to do, then yeah, I would do a tutorial. However, we're not there yet. So right now you just get to look at him and see how cute he is, and maybe see if he eventually has a costume change. I made another Broadway Bear. Burial. So if you didn't know, The Little Mermaid is a Broadway show. It didn't do very well, but it is one. And have a video all about that. You can even see what is so cool about her tail if you go watch that video. Because her tail is not attached right now. Her tail is somewhere. I saw it recently. But anyway, this is Burial. She is taller than the normal Broadway Bear because she has shoes. They are removable, but I don't want to. She has pants. She has this fun little skirt over. She has her shell top, her hair. And yeah. She is taller than Phantom Bear because I had to add extra stitches so that her chest and her waist would be separated. And then also I had to give her shoes, so I had to give her a little extra space in her feet. So what I was doing was, in the stage version of The Little Mermaid, her tail is actually, this is not her tail, this is water. This is water, so it's trying to hide her legs from being seen. So it's like water and seafood. No, water and seaweed and kelp and coral and stuff like that. And then her shoes are little rollerblades to glide across the stage. Her tail is a separate piece that's attached. And I made it. If you go see that video, you can see how I constructed it. It's pretty cool. I actually, for this particular bear, I kind of walked you through how I did everything. So it's actually a pretty fun video. But not a lot of people are into Broadway, so she didn't get a lot of views. But that's okay. If you're watching it now, you get to see her. Her hair is really cool. I did it in 2 pieces. And then I sewed them together. So instead of doing 50 million pieces and sewing them to her head, I didn't do it that way. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay. Have I made other bears? Well, I made one that's a Christmas bear, which I can show you. This is Cassandra from Craftfully Ever After's Buddy Bear pattern, and I just changed his nose, his ears, and then all the color changes in the outfit and everything, and the hat are all me. But it's her pattern. I just adapted it to fit my needs. I was going for Snow Miser, and this year I'm hoping to do Heat Miser, so that the brothers will be together. If you don't know what that is, Rankin and Bass filmed The Year Without a Santa Claus. Snow Miser and Heat Miser are 2 characters. So this is 5 Little Monsters Camping Black Bear Crochet Along. I think I can still link it. I'm pretty sure it's still free on her blog, and all you have to do to make her teddy bear is make him brown. That's it. So, but isn't he cute? Oh my goodness. So my mother actually said that these would make a really cute like bear nativity, and I kind of like that idea. That might happen. So this little guy, he is the last bear. So my Halloween bears and I would like to say thank you so much for stopping by today. Come back for episode 3 next week. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too. Bye!